G'day YouTube, BalorMage here again, and we're going to go over what we've been playing for the last few days, which is just a vanilla, non-ARCHMAGE Inquisitor Stormbrand build. This has been surprisingly strong, a little bit on the squishy side, but with quite a lot of damage, quite a lot of clear speed, and a decent boss. I have not tried ARCHMAGE yet. We're going to level an ARCHMAGE Hierophant and play with that next to compare the two, so I will have notes on that when we get to it. For now, we've just got the Inquisitor version, so we're going to have a really quick look at what we're doing. We've got a pretty generic tree. We're not making very big use of clusters yet in this tree. I've got one cluster that I think is rather important. You can attach an additional brand. Was pretty damn good because the Delirium stuff is just super packed with mobs, and extra brands is actually way more desirable than before, as well as just 5% move speed to help our clear, and we just put an Abyssal Jewel in the end. That's it for our cluster jewels. So you can see this is a pretty generic tree. In leveling it, we just went up and grabbed EO, and then filled out the rest of the damage nodes that weren't crit, and then started taking crit and spec'd out of EO, and changed our pathing from here to here. In early maps, and that is a pretty damn generic tree. You will see we've got a pretty decent weapon, a very, very nice pair of gloves, very nice, and otherwise just a pretty standard belt, some pretty standard jewels, nothing too special on any of the rest of it. We managed to 6-link an Impulsor in like 70 something fuses, and we've got ourselves a pseudo 6-linked helmet for Orb of Storms, which really helps out with our clear. It's linked to chain and hypothermia, increased area of effect, controlled destruction, and critical strike chance. We didn't go for the highest single target possible DPS for Orb of Storms because our brands take care of that. So this is just to help clear. So that's very helpful. So the playstyle ends up being just you run around and you Orb of Storms and brand recall, just like that. And that's the playstyle through the entire map, of course, with Flask Up and Onslaught and everything. And it's very effective. We've got a nice Cinder Swallow Flask for maintaining or sustaining our life during map clear. That's pretty much everything we've got. There's a tiny bit of lightning damage leech on my amulet. And we're using Call of the Brotherhood, so we continue to shatter everything. We've also got a Herald of Thunder, Assassin's Mark, Curse on Hit, and a Precision. You could drop the Precision. You could use Ice Bite, but I didn't need it. You could use Vile Righteous Fire for extra boss damage. I also picked up one of these Unnatural Instincts here. Now, here we go through some gameplay, and you can see it's mapping pretty well. These are very high tier maps, some of them with orbs, some without orbs. I have not had any problem mapping in tier 16s in this build at all. Just very rarely we do just get one shot randomly because we don't have incredibly good defensive layers here and not the highest amount of health, but it was very easy to gear, it was very easy to clear with. The Impulsor is purely not important. It turns out the explosions from Impulsor are really rather weak now, and I notice almost no difference to my clear changing into a tabular. But the Impulsor hands out a pretty decent amount of single target DPS, so it's still worth using. The extra damage if you shock and increased effective shock is really nice, as well as just got 80 life. If I didn't 6-link it by accident, well, not quite by accident, but if I didn't 6-link it very easily, I would have kept using a tabular and would have been fine. I'm pretty happy with the character overall. It's done its job. It's got us to a fully completed and woke Atlas with all our favorited things unlocked, but the next thing we're going to do is level the ARCHMAGE Hierophant Stormbrand build and compare the two. So I'm looking forward to that. That will be played on stream immediately, as well as we'll see a YouTube video of that in the next day or so. Comparing my thoughts on the two, initial suspicion is that ARCHMAGE is going to be better, but we'll see how that plays out. Alright, I will attach the path of building for this character to the video here, and I will also attach a Cirrus skill to the end. I think it was only woke 4 when we did this, but you can see that it does a decent, quite respectable amount of single target damage, and it can boss perfectly fine. Alright. I will see everybody later. Fucking, are we starting already? Whoops.
What's this? A real challenge? You've finally caught my attention.
Ooh, hello. What's the point? Is this the same? Shit. But don't stand there! Don't run into the storm! Fucking idiot.
The others found strength in their projections. They became reliant on them. I am not so foolish.
What's the point? Bye. It's been a little bit. Uh-oh, where'd he go? There he is. Hey, bud. Can I go this way now? Cool. Doing the teleport die beam action? I think so. Sir? Sir? Hello? Sir? Sir? This way, sir. Okay, up here it is then. It's not what I was really after there, but that'll do. Jesus fucking Christ! Look at the fucking size of it! Oh, wrong way. Whoop. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Woo! Okay. Thanks for the fucking shit helmet. Maybe it's worth something now. Okay, I could definitely have done that at a higher awakening level. Definitely. Definitely.
I'm sorry.
That didn't even... I could have done that at a higher awakening level with fucking 3,000 less health than I've got.
So sorry.
I don't remember what it does, but is it worth money now? That's the question. And the answer is a big fat no. And since I'm not using it, it makes it the shit helm.